And he's fighting a ranked opponent tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you want, right? When you're on these kind of face Sean Strickland, and he's shown a real development in his 2 months now, doing a really good job of mixing in his wrestling and maturity. You talked about maybe him taking fights that he shouldn't have been taking or working through injuries.
He's a dark horse in the division. I mean, if you look at his record, 22 on cities. This is his first time in Vegas, so very, very excited. And the former strawweight queen, Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
Yeah, Poland, Jędrzejczyk, Mateusz Gamrot, certainly providing some motivex in Las Vegas. Tonight's the night for Krzysztof, the oncoming Sean Strickland.
All the confidence. Listen, Sean, the man is legit, and he's on a mission, riding high on two fantastic.
And those wins came Halloween, and he turned it around 1 November. That 3-fight win streak is intact as it takes on Krzysztof Jotko. Now a look at the fighter descriptions brought to you by Guaranteed Rate Mortgage. Guaranteed 15th ranked Sean Strickland rides a 3-fight winning streak into this matchup. Krzysztof Jotko, who is healed up for injuries, and this in the past, certainly a dark horse who's experienced in the UFC. Break into the rankings should he take down the hard-nosed Jotko. And Strickland, Jotko 1 year older at 31 years, 1 inch reach advantage, lies with the fighter from Poland. Back inside the
rounds this in the UFC middleweight division. Introducing to you, Frank. My fans, we are set to go with the next fight tonight. 3 rounds this in the UFC middleweight division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. This mixed martial artist stands 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighing in officially 185 1/2 pounds. Yeah, wow. His professional record stands at 22 victories with 4 defeats. Fighting out of Horneta, Poland, here is Krzysztof Jotko. And across the octagon, his opponent fighting out of the red corner. This mixed martial artist also stands 6 feet 1 inch tall. He too weighed in 185 1/2 pounds, and he holds a professional record of 22 victories with 3 defeats. He fights out of Corona, California. Here is Sean Tarzan Strickland.
Same number on the scale.
And your referee in charge of the action is Herb Dean.
Herb Dean draws the assignment between these two hard-hitting middleweight contenders. Krzysztof Jotko, the plus 230 underdog in this matchup.
Ready.
Sean Strickland returns as the minus 280 favorite. Touch of the gloves, we're underway. This fight clock is brought to you by Modelo.
See, that's a good start for Jotko. I mean, of course, landing a left hand is always a good start. But what I mean is, having trained with Sean quite extensively, if you put him on his back foot, he's nowhere near as effective. I mean, that's often the case with a lot of fighters, but that's what Jotko needs to do. Try and slow down the forward momentum of Sean Strickland, because if Sean gets in the groove, as we saw in his last 2 fights, the striking is very, very improved. The confidence is skyrocketing, and he's starting to develop some real power in his hands as well.
Well, Strickland has a good training partner in California, Marvin Vettori. I mean, those two guys are hard-nosed guys if you know the personalities and certainly their fighting style. And they're like, we don't spar to see, to help each other get better. We spar to see who's better, We'll draw blood on each side. People have to pull us off. But in the end, Strickland says he's trying to get the job done tonight. He's going to go right back to helping Marvin get ready for his title fight.
And another one that Sean was training with that he told us about this week is a guy called Moses Murrieta. Used to be a long-time training partner of mine. In fact, the whole time I trained in California, he was my #1 training partner. So Sean's been working with him a lot. The guy's an absolute beast. So anyway, enough of Sean. Jotko's in there as well. And Jotko's looking good, both guys. I mean, they're so evenly matched. Both 6'1", similar styles, almost identical reach.
Nice left from Jotko.
Similar haircuts. I mean, where does it end? Jotko's excited for this matchup because obviously Sean's a ranked opponent, ranked number 15, so a big opportunity for Jotko to break into the rankings.
You see the contrast in styles, even on their feet. I mean, both guys throwing good punches, but Jotko much lighter on his feet, always circling, and you got Strickland who just marches you down and tries to throw these big punches.
Yeah, that left hand done some good work with that so far, Jotko. He walks back, he kind of drags Sean in, and then boom, fires it back and finds the mark more often than not.
Oh man, each connecting there.
The left hand is working
nice
for Jotko.
Jab for Strickland too. Jotko, a 3-fight winning streak on his own right. Most recently in Jacksonville last May. Gets wobbled right there by a right cross from Strickland.
Yeah, that was the best shot so far for Strickland. Little right hand found the mark. Kind of wobbled Jotko.
Oh!
Whoa. Toyo Tires, the official tire of the UFC. Strickland getting busy here. Jotko swinging windmills on the way back.
Yeah, Krzysztof Jotko was hurt there. I mean, it sounds obvious, but you know, the guy classes himself as a striker. Anytime you take it and then you shoot, you know the man is hurt when he shoots for the takedown.
Little Yair elbow action.
Yeah. Looking for that sliding up elbow. That works a lot of times too if you level change first. Get them thinking you're going to try to shoot.
Oh. And that's a crisp right cross from Strickland. He's found a home for that several times. Coming up on 90 seconds to go round one. And like you said, Michael, just they have a lot of similarities, but very different styles. I mean, look at Strickland just kind of walk him down. Jotko bounce around, swing a little bit wider. Do that.
Yeah, certainly getting creative.
Yeah, might have to be careful getting a little too creative.
Yeah, exactly.
Strickland.
I mean, that's nice. It's good to mix things up, but fundamentals, you know, they got to have them in place. The solid jab, the 1-2, the head movement, you know, the fundamentals, offensively and defensively. That's good. He needs to stop the forward momentum of Sean. He's backing up a lot. He's getting caught with that right hand. He needs to stand his ground a little bit. If you stand your ground, your opponent more often than not will stop walking forward. Yeah. There's a dance, there's unspoken rules. If you're backing up, they're going to come forward. You go forward, they're going to go back. That's kind of how it works.
Cut him off a little bit, Sean. Let's cut that cage.
Yeah, you've got to present some kind of danger for them. Throw something out there. Plant your feet.
Significant strikes as we show you. 29-13, favor of Strickland. Final 20 seconds, round number one. Oh, man.
That was nice.
Strickland went airborne with the knee, connected with the jab on his way down. All on the feet through round one. Round two coming.
Easy peasy, you're around. Okay, so all you need to do different, just stop following him and just cut him off a little bit, and the fight's gonna end, okay? I want cage control. Cage control. You got it. Let's go. Hey, it's gonna be there. Take your time, keep on those 1s and 2s, you're coming. Sharpen down the middle, Sean. Cage control. I want you cutting them off a little more. Here we go. Cut the cage. This fight ends.
New UFC Fight Pass original episodes are dropping this spring. Catch up on favorites like UFC Chronicles, Year of the Fighters, UFC Connected, Fight Lore, and more before the next wave hits UFC Fight Pass. Step into our world. So interesting turn of events between rounds. Sean Strickland got about 20 seconds of advice from his coach, John Wood. Then they took the stool out, and he was just standing there waiting for round number two.
Talking to Jotko the whole time.
You know, just ready, pacing.
Yeah. If there's one thing I know about Sean, though, is that he knows everything. And no one can tell him anything, so why bother? Listen, the guy trains very hard. He's always in the gym, travels around all around Southern California, trains at Dan Henderson's place. He goes down to King's. He goes to the Ruka Sport Training headquarters. You know, the man moves around, and that's often a good approach, you know, to try and be kind of a Ronin, to take in as many different looks and training partners and coaches as possible. And it pays off for him. And the man works hard. You know, he's always in great shape. Didn't take the stool there between rounds. And so far, doing a good job in this fight. He's ahead.
And it's just mental games as well, right? When you decide to not take the stool or not take it as long and you're targeting your opponent, like, I'm ready to go right now. What are you, just sipping water? Let's go.
Yeah.
Trying to get in your head. There's some mental games to be played.
And all that great training in Southern California, but I believe the third straight fight where John Wood out of Syndicate MMA, which is just up the street here in Las Vegas. Strickland's been a regular there as well. And Wood told him, don't follow him around the octagon, cut him off and the fight will end. He'll find his shot. They don't want him to follow him around. Meanwhile, big left from Jotko.
Yeah, nice slip and rip there. Just got out of the way of the jab, off the center line, boom, left hand. Sean took it well though, good chin. This round's going a lot better for Jotko so far.
Each of these fighters experience in their careers. 22 wins apiece, combined record of 44-7.
That's a lot of experience. Ooh.
Right kicks at the same time. Oh, dangerous.
There it is. He's got to be careful with those spinning attacks. I mean, Sean came really close there to landing a couple of heavy power shots.
Yeah, you don't want to be turning your back for too long against Sean Strickland. You're going to pay for it.
Yeah, and if you've got to turn your back, as you said, you've got to do it fast. You've got to be explosive. You know, that's the problem with the spinning attacks. As you said, momentarily you're looking away from your opponent. Your back is turned. So you've got to do that quick.
Get back on that jab pull. Yep, get back on that jab pull. You punch
Strickland a little more selective through this second round of his shots. Goes leg kick there.
Cut him off, pull forward. Nice, go forward. When you turn, you gotta go forward.
Strickland showing some nice kicks when he decides to throw them.
Kick, use your legs, kick as well. Diamond kick. Nice. Find him again with the jab, find him again with the jab.
This is a really close round. I mean, either man could steal it here with 90 seconds left. Jotko's getting a little predictable with the left hand though. Predominantly looking for that over and over again. Needs to mix up the attack a little bit.
Hard press for the last minute here. Hard jab.
Good leg kick there from Strickland. Felt that one.
50 seconds, round number 2.
Ooh.
Look out. Strickland caught the kick.
Yeah, as you said, Paul, those calf kicks really piling up now for Sean. Doing a good job.
Really hammering them in there. They're solid. No telegraph.
Blood from the nose now. Jotko as well a little bit.
Yeah, it's a tough night at the office so far. He's taking some damage from Strickland. Sean's chopping up the legs, bloodying up the nose, scoring points the whole time.
Man, now starting to chop a little bit more. Round 3 is coming up.
You're winning. Up 2. Okay. Slow it down. Last round. Keep cutting them off and let's pressure. That leg is almost gone, okay? That lead leg is almost gone. Let's fire a couple of them.
That leg's gone, Sean. Listen to John. That 4-2-3 is there. Every time you turn, you gotta come forward. Believe in your hands, believe in your kicks. Right? Let it go. Keep your hands on that left hand. Yeah, the left hand is money.
1-1, Krzysiek. 1-1. Cały czas się ruszaj.
Round 3 is brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC. third and final. One would think that Sean Strickland has done enough to nab the first 2 rounds. We'll see what Chris Jotko has in the final 5 minutes of this one.
Yeah, Sean is definitely ahead on, 2 rounds to nothing. He's controlling the range. He's doing more damage. He's predominantly always got Jotko on the back foot. If you look at Jotko at the end of round 2, he's got blood coming from his nose and mouth. It's an easy decision for the judges to make. Sean is controlling the octagon, backing him up the whole time, and just doing more damage. I mean, that's the goal at the end of the day.
And he started really having success, not only with his punches, but with those low kicks.
If Jotko is going to turn this around, he has to go forward. He's got to put Sean on the back foot. Moving back and circling the whole time is not paying off for him.
Heavy exchange there. Teddy Atlas showing the love for Sean Strickland.
A man who knows a thing or two about what he's talking about,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
Yeah, just a little bit.
And he's right. There's just no wasted energy here.
Other than that flying knee. That was definitely a waste. But still, I get the point. Yeah, no, that's it. He's not winding up with every shot. He's just putting it out there, letting the body mechanics do the work.
Yeah, it doesn't
as opposed
telegraph.
to, yeah, no telegraph, just in and out. Comes back to the chin.
And you see with Jotko throwing these big looping overhand lefts and things like that. When you see Strickland throw his right, it's that elbow stays where it is against his body, straight down the line and onto the chin.
Yep.
Like a whip. Bah. For those at home, I was showing.
Yes, it was quite the demonstration you put on, Paul. I was impressed.
Thank you. I'm sure I'll hear about it later.
Oh, that was a solid one. Good right hand. Yeah, Jotko's got to do this. He's got to go forward. And he's got to be thinking, I need a finish if he's going to win this fight. And as I say, once again, going backwards. I mean, yes, you can knock people out going backwards, but you're going to have a bit more forward momentum if you're going forward. But he's got to follow that up. See, that was a nice right hand. Throw a left hook over the top.
Sean Strickland said in the past, when he believed he outclassed his opponents, he would, maybe not take his foot off the gas pedal, but he would start feeling himself, right? Start lose focus, think that there was no way I'm going to lose this fight. See him, he is dialed in for all of this one. Laser-like focus, eyes on the target, good head movement, under 2 minutes to go now.
Well, for people that don't know, that have never fought professionally, it would sound surprising to say this, but retaining focus throughout the entire time is actually harder than what you think. There's a lot going on. The brain can think a split second. So many different things go through your mind. You might see something in the crowd or from the referee that catches your attention. I remember seeing a camera once and looking up and thinking, oh, that's how they get the shots. And then, boom, I get caught with a brain just, you drift off into weird places, even in the middle of a high-stakes fight like this. So retaining that focus throughout 15 minutes or 25 or whatever it is, it's a lot harder than what you think.
That's true. We're not in a gym with just walls and other people, right? You're right. There's a lot going on. In a crowd, cameras, there's clocks everywhere. Yep. Luckily, we don't have a crowd for these guys. There's a little less distraction. But that actually might help. The lull of the crowd might actually make you kind of dial in and focus more, as opposed to, hearing me, you, and Brendan talk, sipping from his very nice red UFC mug over there. I don't have a red UFC mug.
I do not have a red mug, no.
We'll have to get you one.
Thanks.
All you got to do is ask. Don't you guys know that?
I'm still waiting for a free suit.
Final 30 seconds of this one. Another flying knee.
Corn syrup.
Sean turning it on. It's a dominating fight for Sean. Good performance.
Oh, there's that straight right.
Jotko kept him honest, kept him focused. Fired back some good shots when he had to, but tonight was another good performance by Sean Strickland. Jotko turning on the pressure a little bit in these closing seconds, but unfortunately, too little, too late. 3 in a row now for Sean Strickland.
And Strickland right there for the counter shot all the way. One final spinning attempt from Jotko and a step-in knee for Strickland. mean mugging for a second. Now a show of respect. We'll see how the judges saw this one when we come back to Las Vegas. Only on ESPN+. The fight decision is brought to you by the United States Marine Corps. 3 hard rounds between Sean Strickland and Krzysztof Jotko. Here's Joe Martinez.
Let's go.
And all fight fans, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. Here are the totals: 30-27, 30-27, and 29-28. Your winner by unanimous decision, Sean Tarzan Strickland.
Make it 4 in a row for the Californian Sean Strickland, who has really found a home in the middleweight division. Long time a welterweight, didn't think he had the size, the strength to hang at 185, and he has proven himself wrong with another victory tonight, Michael.
Yeah, he actually told me that years ago when I first met him. He thought he was too undersized for middleweight, but yeah, as you said, he's looked sensational since he came back. I mean, 4 in a row, 4 great performances. I mean, that was a good one. I mean, yeah, he didn't get the stoppage, but he looked sensational. The boxing, as usual, did the trick, mixed up the low kicks. I mean, let's take a look at some of the work here. Right hand finds the mark. That landed early and had Jotko in all kinds of problems, wobbled him a lot, walked him down the entire time as the fight progressed, started mixing in low kicks. We see that one really hurt Krzysztof Jotko. And yeah, I mean, Jotko rallied a few times here and there, but essentially, that was a shutout for Sean Strickland.
Doubling up the significant strikes with Strickland. You can see the accuracy more than 50%. And look at the striking defense as well. Just 1 out of 5 landing on the side of Jotko. All adds up to another win. Sean is with Paul.
I'm here with the winner, Sean Strickland. What's up, dude? How are you feeling after that one?
Oh, man, I'm a little annoyed. I got hit with that elbow, man. That's kind of embarrassing, but whatever.
I was going to say, it seemed like you were a little upset with yourself after that performance. I was wondering what happened.
This mixed martial artist also professional record of 22 victories with 3 defeats. Strickland!
Same number on the... Herb Dean draws the assignment between these two hard-hitting this matchup. Sean Strickland returns as the -2.
See, that's a good start for Jotko. I mean, of course, landing that extensively. If you put him on his back foot, he's nowhere near as effective down the forward momentum of Sean Strickland. Because if Sean gets his confidence, he's skyrocketing, and he's starting to develop some real power.
Marvin Vettori. I mean, those two guys are hard-nosed guys. If you start to see who's better, you know, we'll draw blood on each side. People have to for his title fight.
And another one that Sean was training with, that he's a partner of mine. In fact, the whole time I trained in California, he was my #1. So, anyway, enough of Sean. Jotko's in there. Both 6'1", similar styles. It's almost does it end? Rank number 15, so a big opportunity for Jotko to break into the
feet. I mean, both guys throwing good punches, but Jotko much lighter on his feet.
Yeah, that left hand Sean in, and then boom, fires it back and finds the mark more often than
Jotko. Jab for Strickland too. Jotko there by a right cross from Strickland.
Yeah, that was the best shot so far for
of the UFC. Strickland's getting busy here with Jotko swing.
I mean, it sounds obvious, but you know, the man is hurt when he shoots for the takedown.
Elbow. That works a lot of times too. If you level,
he's found a home for that several times. Coming up on 90 seconds to go round. And like you said, Michael, they have a lot of similar. Jotko bounce around, swing a little bit wider.
Yeah, might have to be careful getting a little too creative.
Yeah, exactly. You got to have them in place. The solid jab, the 1-2, the head movement. But he needs to stop the forward momentum of Sean a little bit. If you stand your ground, your opponent more often than not was going to come forward. You go forward, they're going to go back. That's kind of how it works.
Cut him off a little bit, Sean. Let's cut that a little bit, Sean. Let's cut that cage.
Yeah, you've got to present some kind of
significant strikes as we show you. 29-13. Oh, man. All on the feet through round 1.
Own him and just cut him off a little bit, and the fight's gonna end, okay? I want Kate, let's go. Hey, it's gonna be there. Take your time. Control, I want you cutting him off a little more. Here we go. Fight ends.
New UFC Fight Pass original episodes are dropping more before the next wave hits UFC Fight Pass. Step into 20 seconds of advice from his coach, John Wood. Then they took the stool out and he would just stand and sing.
If there's one thing I know about Sean, though, is that he knows everything. And him travels around all around Southern California, trains at Dan Henderson. You know, the man moves around, and that's often a good of coaches as possible. And it pays off for him. And the man works. And so far, doing a good job in this fight. He's ahead.
Targeting your opponent like, I'm ready to go right now. What are you sipping water? Let's go.
California, but I believe the second straight fight or third straight fight where John Wood there as well.
Cut him off. There you go, son.
And Wood around. Meanwhile, big left from Jotko.
Yeah, nice slip and rip there. Just in.
Each of these fighters experience in their career.
That's a lot of experience.
Right kicks at the same time. Dangerous.
There it is. He's got to be careful with those spinning attacks.
Turning your back for too long against Sean Strickland, you're going to pay for it.
The problem with the spinning attacks, as you said, momentarily you're looking.
Strickland a little more so.
Go forward. Kick. Use your legs. Kick as well.
This is a really close round. I mean, Jotko's getting over again. Needs to mix up the attack a little bit.
Hard jab.
Good leg kick. In there, they're solid. No telegraph.
So far, he's taking some damage from Strickland. Sean's chopping up the legs. A little bit more.
One more hard low. You're winning. Up 2. Keep cutting them off and let's pressure. Almost gone. Let's fire a couple of them.
That leg's gone, Sean. Listen to John. Even your kicks, right? Let it go. Keep your heels up.
Cały czas się ruszaj.
The official protein snack of UFC. The first 2 rounds, we'll see what Chris Jotko has in the final 5 minutes of this one.
He's controlling the range. He's doing more damage. He's got blood coming from his nose and mouth. You know, so and the octagon backing him up the whole time. And just doing
with his punches, but with those low kicks.
Sean on the back foot, moving back and circling the whole.
Heavy.
What he's talking about, that's for sure.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Other
than that
again.
flying knee. That's it. He's not winding up with every shot. He's just putting it out there, you know, letting comes back to the chin.
You see with Jotko throwing these where it is against his body, straight down the line and onto the chin. For those at home, I was showing.
Yes.
I'm sure I'll hear about it later.
Oh, that was a solid one. Be thinking, I need a finish if he's going to win this fight backwards. But you're going to have a bit more forward momentum if you're going forward over the top.
Sean Strickland, he would, you know, maybe not take his foot off the gas pedal, but he would start feeling himself, right? For all of this one, laser-like focus.
People know that I've never fought professionally. It would sound surprising to say this, but retaining focus throughout the entire thing, a split second, so many different things go through your mind. You might look it up and thinking, oh, that's how they get the shots, and then boom, I get caught. Brain just, you know, you drift off into weird places. Even in 15 minutes or 25 or whatever it is, it's a lot harder than what
balls and other people right there. You're right. There's a lot going on. In a guys, there's a little less distraction. But that actually might help. The lull you and Brendan talk. Sipping from his very nice.
Get you one.
Thanks.
Only 30 seconds of this one, and now they're flying the
corn syrup. That's straight right.
Jotko kept him honest, you know, kept him focused on Strickland. Jotko turning on the pressure a little bit, and he's closing the now for Sean Strickland.
And Strickland right there for the counter shot all the way. mean mugging for a second. Now a show of respect. We'll see how the judges saw this one.
How many wins you coming off of? Huh? How many wins you coming off of? Thank you.
2 weeks from tonight, the Octagon heads to the Soul's all-time submission leader, Charles Oliveira. Battles knockout artist Michael Chantu. May 15th, available for purchase only on is brought to you by the United States Marine Corps.
Fight fans, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. Here are the totals. By unanimous decision, Sean Tarzan.
For the Californian Sean Strickland, who has really the size, the strength to hang at 185, and he has proven himself wrong.
He thought he was too undersized for middleweight, but yeah, as you said, he's looked sensational. I mean, yeah, he didn't get the stoppage, but he looked sensational. The boxing, as right hand finds the mark, that landed early and had the fight.